So first of all, it's a big honor for me to speak here for Huber and Sunher. I will explain a bit what we are doing here. It's a great honor, and it's really a big source of inspiration being in India and also together with the team around our company here in India, always to see the progress you're doing here in regards of changing the society with digital transformation. It's really a great inspiration when I go back to Switzerland. I was thinking about how to explain what Huber Sunher is doing best. While listening to all the speakers this afternoon, to all these equipment manufacturers, to all these telecom service providers, they were always showing the vision on their programs towards 5G. And actually I have found out most of them are our customer. This explains potentially what are we doing. But I will come back in a minute on what we are doing in particular. So, what is clear, and I think I don't need to spend too much time of your precious time really to emphasize that 5G is a key enabler for this Digital Bharat. What is new, and now this is a bit a different point of view Huber Sunher is having. It's all based on physical layer. You can dream of all these services, these disruptive services, disruptive business models. If there is no fundament on it, it's not going to happen. Let me share this slide. It's an old slide, you might recognize it. It's one of the initial concepts of the use cases with these 3 dimensions. We know a bit more, and you have all seen, or you will see in the exhibition, some really intelligent use cases which are live today as we speak. But what does it mean here? Obviously there are requirements behind. This was the process of standardization. And at the end of the day, what does it mean for all of us here? It means, and now it comes to play into the physical layer, a lot more fiber systems, a lot more radio channels and cells, much more antennas and different complex antennas, more capacity all over the place, different timing systems, and obviously virtualization and centralization. And what is our contribution? What is Huber Sunher's contribution to all of these communication equipment manufacturers and the telecom service providers? We provide connectivity, be it indoor, be it in a harsh environment. Bandwidth expansion we have heard about multiple times. It's not only the data through the air is going to be the problem, it's also the data being backhauled. Obviously antennas, that's the first point of the network. There you make it or break it if the quality is good at the end of the day. It's also about hardware interconnection in the radios, for example. You have just heard from the gentleman before, these radio units, they need to be a performant connection inside but also around it to really make it happen. And a bit further down the road, it's also about all optical switching, really making the physical layer virtual. So what are the requirements for the physical layer? Now really emphasizing this quite a bit, the physical layer. Obviously they are similar to the network as such or to the service as such. First of all, they need to be future ready, and maybe it's more true than ever. You want not to provide a physical layer, invest in a physical layer which only sustain the next year. You want to have a physical layer which is future ready, which can grow as you go, which will sustain. High performance is clear. The performance is given of a system, of a telecom system from the physical layer. That is clear, so high performance is a must. Reliability is same. It needs to function at 7x24 in all environmental situation. Density is a key element. The networks are growing, the capacity needs to grow, and this leads to the last point, the scalability. So, as I said, again, if you want to start small, but you want to have it a solid foundation in order to scale it up, whatever 5G, 5G plus, 5G advanced, etc. will need. I give you a bit of a nutshell how we are contributing already today in this Digital Bharat, Digital India. So first of all, we are providing hardware interconnection into the communication equipment manufacturer. These can be connectivity, tiny connector in the radios, can be connectors around the radios to be connected worldwide, etc. Obviously, there the customers are the major OEMs, both the established one, but also the new guys, or the new players in this market. The next topic, it's also something a bit in the background. You might not notice that one first. It's basically what we call the fiber to the antenna material. So all the radios, all the connectivity on the masts needs to be connected, so to say. And that is what we are providing, not only in India, but also globally on this journey. We talked about antennas, different forms, different complexity, nothing to worry about or nothing more to say about it. There, obviously, we are providing as well, and with a very strong footprint in India, for India, but not only for India, we are also providing antennas from India to the world. As a last example, there are many more, but I keep it to 4. It's basically all the connectivity. Once it's down on the bottom, the connectivity backwards into the core network. Obviously, the fibers are scarce. There are not endless capacity around, and telecom service provider or neutral host or these guys, they want to reuse the existing capacity, and obviously WDM solutions like WDM, etc. This is key. There are many more. It's not shown, for example, all the data center. We have just talked about mobile edge computing. Smaller data center are required, and this is also a field where we provide the physical connectivity layer as Huber and Sunher. Just to wrap up a bit, we are a global company based in Switzerland. However, you see we are around the world, and we have a really strong presence in India since 2004. So we are supporting, as I said before, the telecom service provider here in India, but also the equipment manufacturer with all our solutions. We have done this with 3G, we have done this with 4G, and we are in full swing and ready for doing this also in 4G, 5G with our factory, with a team around Tarun Gulati in Manesar, close by, with all our production factory. But what I would like to stress here, we think globally and act locally. I would now change it to we adapt locally. And meanwhile, it's not that we are going to do things for India, in India, but we are using India more and more. And as we have heard some similar points before, also for the world. So it's really, India is important for us. For the Indian market to really to continue on this Digital Bharat journey. Key takeaways, I promise to be quick. So 5G, I think that you would agree to that one, is a logical next evolutionary step. The service on top of 5G might be revolutionary, but the topic on the physical layer is more an evolutionary step. This is an important step for or a key enabler for the Digital Bharat. Huber Sunher is driving this evolution with a strong presence in India to support basically both customer groups, the telecom service provider and the OEMs. And lastly, the physical layer is basically providing the foundation of the Digital Bharat today and beyond. With that, having said, thank you very much for your attention. I know it's very late in the afternoon. Hopefully it was not too boring. Thank you so much.